Throughout all this chaos in Ukraine, I'm trying my best to focus on reality rather than being tribal. I agree that Putin is a bit of a psycho and he has to be stopped, and also have sympathy towards the people in Ukraine, but you don't have to love the Ukrainian government. It's not black and white. I criticize the history, the historic strategy of NATO as well. So the people who completely try to be black and white doesn't really help. I'm trying to focus on the propaganda that we're getting. I find it fascinating. It's just like any other conflict, but this time, because of the rise of social media and access to information, it's massively magnified. We are seeing two tribal sides. You've got the pro and anti side, and they both agree but believe that their side are telling the truth and the other side is completely fake news. You don't realize both sides are giving out fake news. That's part of the whole propaganda game. Now, what I want to focus on is this person. This an activist slash journalist, whatever she is, who yesterday at a press conference stood up and spoke to the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, and asked a question. And she had a bit of an emotional moment on behalf of Ukraine, and saying that demanding that Boris Johnson needs to do more. And Boris he couldn't do anything. He just had to stop and listen. And a lot of the left-wing activists used her to attack not just Boris, but also Britain and all of us, saying, Dissy, you have to listen to these young activists and journalists and all that. Fine, I get it. Have sympathy towards people in Ukraine. Because as I said, my worry is the people on the ground, people's lives. Don't really care about the governments in terms of, do we have to support the Ukrainian government or the Russian government? No, I don't really care about that. I care about people. But in reality, let's be transparent. Who is this woman? Because if you're going to use her as an emotional tool to manipulate us, then it's best to be transparent. Well, this is Daria Kaliniuk, who is a member of the World Economic Forum. She's one of the young global leaders of the World Economic Forum. She's also the executive director of the Anti-Corruption Action Center. Now, Klaus Schwab, over the last few years, has been going around to the head of the WF to promote this new community that they have, young community. They're basically young global leaders, and they are everywhere. So they say they are becoming like new politicians. Some of them are actually in Justin Trudeau's cabinet, and they are promoting them to kind of get into public life, so that these are the rising stars, the future faces of the World Economic Forum. Not only that, that's not my problem with her. She's already very politically biased, which is fine, but at least be honest about it. She was a massive Joe Biden supporter. This was her during the election in America.
Even among Joe Biden supporters in Ukraine, Hunter's hiring was troubling.
How do you judge what Hunter Biden was doing?
I think that Hunter Biden did a very bad thing, and he was very
well, Hunter Biden did a very bad thing. At least that's good that she agrees that Hunter Biden did a bad thing. And I just wanted to I'm not accusing anyone of anything at this point. It's simply, my issue is that if you're going to use someone to use as a political and emotional tool to manipulate people, at least be open. Be more transparent. Tell us who she actually is. Because the BBC and Sky News, let's just say, they forgot to tell us who she actually is. But I'm here to tell you who she actually is, because we are the media.